9 years ago, the Cloverfield monster did, and I feel like I need to regard myself, like constantly, about my viewpoints on it, and upload it to YouTube. Yep, I think that's what's needed here.
Cloverfield, released in 2008 and is directed by Matt Reeves, who's behind the new recent Apes trilogy and is creating that brand new The Batman movie that's not causing any controversy at all. And this film stars Lisa Kaplan, Jessica Lucas, TJ Miller, Michael Stahl David, Mike Vogel, and Odette Yustman. And for my last review, when I thought that this was J.J. Abrams directing it, I was kind of there. He produced this film. He's kind of like been the godfather of this whole Cloverfield franchise. But I didn't realize this was Matt Reeves doing this. And with Matt Reeves, with all those Apes movies, no wonder why this is so good. Cloverfield is a found footage film that shows us the lives of these 4 to 5 civilians on the day that New York City was attacked by the Cloverfield monster. And I remember the marketing of this movie when this was coming out, because they had done such a great job of not showing the monster in any of the trailers, not showing anything like production-wise, no artistic renderings, no images got out. No one knew what this monster was. And when you see the first teaser of this film and the Statue of Liberty's head just goes flying through one of the streets, my immediate thought was, well, that's right, a sequel to my favorite guilty movie pleasure. I could just imagine the revolts going on in the street, because this was a big deal. This film was a big deal when it came out. We have to go see what the monster looks like. We have to see what they do, where it came from. Can you imagine the hatred that this film would have gotten if it was the iguana version of Godzilla? That would have been great. Although I'm pretty sure that the actual monster that we see in this film did get some hate behind it. Because let's face it, when you build up this movie for so long, you're keeping everything so secret, we're expecting to see some like grandiose, badass looking thing. And what we got, I'll admit, is it's pretty... looks like a little bitch. Definitely not, though. It's badass. But the look, the concept of it, it just does not live up to your mental standards. The Cloverfield, the found footage phase, starts to get rampled up here. We had found footage films before, back almost 10 years before this with Blair Witch Project, but this is where we started seeing found footage, but with a budget, and implementing a lot of CGI things into it. Now, personally, I like found footage. I like point of view viewing a film. It makes me feel immersed into this world, into these characters' lives, and I have a real sense of danger when I'm watching this just in my mind. Found footage, though, is definitely overdone in many instances, particularly when we get to the sci-fi horror type genre. But you really can't blame a studio for wanting to do a found footage horror film. It's way cheaper than doing like a standard blockbuster. You don't have to do as much detail as you would with a standard picture. Because it's found footage, you can get away with a lot of things. And you can get away with a lot of things looking kind of cheap. So it's definitely an appealing medium for studios. You don't shell out a lot of money to make the film, and if the film has this huge backing and this huge cult following before it's even released, like Cloverfield did, you're easily going to make your money back. Probably triple or quadruple it, which is precisely what this film did. Now, for those of you, or for those of us out there that wanted more information about this monster, where it came from, how did it get here, what is this thing, what is its weaknesses, you don't get any of that in this film. And that's the hindrance that you get with a found footage film. When it's found footage, unless this found footage is coming from like Area 51 or something like that, like government issued, these are real life people in this situation. We're going to focus on them, their relationships, and where they're trying to go. And the monster may or may not come in between here and there. So when the movie starts off, Rob Hawkins, I guess he's taking a job out in Japan, and he's leaving behind his girlfriend slash just friend, doesn't know what they are, and it's kind of complicated, and Facebook status, etc., etc. And it's this big going away party, and you start to feel like, when is this film gonna, take off here? I wanted to see a monster. I didn't want to see all of this young, complicated love. But it doesn't take long until we get our first explosion. But in terms of the cast, the people that we are following along on this journey, kind of maneuvering around this monster, I actually very much enjoy. Very easy when you get into these sci-fi horror films that you're just going to find someone annoying or just wanting someone to, okay, that person can die. I am totally okay with them. All these people, no, I want them all to live. Jessica Lucas, actually, which I really like her work, or at least the small amount of things that she's done. I know she was in the remake remake of Evil Dead. I liked her on Gotham when I was watching that, and I really like her here. TJ Miller, which is probably the biggest name out of this bunch. I think he's hilarious. He's the cameraman, the guy behind the camera, so we keep hearing his voice and his breathing and his yelling throughout the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep recording it because people need to know, you know? That is a terrible TJ Miller. I am still sick. And Michael Stahl David, I really like. He's our main character who's trying to go after his ex-girlfriend who is stuck in a building, and they're gonna blow up New York, but they have to get to her to save her and get back in time before the bomb hits. I gotta say, there are points in this movie that are, you know, you feel bad and you feel, you know, anxious and sad about who just died and who just passed away, but then Michael Stahl comes and be like, hey guys, yeah, I know that they just died, but she's in trouble and I gotta go, so yeah, sorry. Like, dude, you're right, but take a couple of seconds for God fucking sake. Like, some of their friends just died. They just got eaten by the monster, or buildings, you know, crashed on top of them, and they're crying, they're hysterical. And he's like, hey, come on, my girlfriend, kinda. But this film is an absolute thrill ride. I love the cinematography here. Found footage, again, it's overused, but when it's done very well, like it is done here, it's so inviting. It's a great representation of what would actually happen in this type of situation, too. Because we're living in that era that everyone is trying to, you know, record everything, trying to vlog everything and upload it onto any streaming service like YouTube. So something like this would probably happen. Actually, most definitely happen now. This happened back in 2008, where people still had like little cameras. Now we all have cameras on our phone. This would definitely be happening. So if you're in the mood for a good suspenseful thriller, this is absolutely for you. I definitely recommend it. I know there are a couple of people out there that have never seen the Cloverfield films, which is so shocking to me because I know everyone had to go see this film back then. One of the best marketing campaigns that has ever flagged a film, that followed closely by Deadpool. But the whole mythos of Cloverfield, it's spawned into two kind of separate anthology films, if you want to call them that. 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then a couple of years ago, it was a Netflix picture, Cloverfield Paradox, that take place in the Cloverfield world, so this monster exists there, but they have no connection to this one at all, which is something I'm still waiting for. I'm still waiting for my proper Cloverfield sequel, where we're seeing the monster the majority of the time. He doesn't just pop up in the last 10 seconds of the film. But this film is absolutely great. 10 Cloverfield Lane is actually phenomenal. That is a great picture. The last 10 minutes, that's where you're either going to go one way or the other. But up to that point, John Goodman is stellar in the film. Cloverfield Paradox is, yeah, that was a kind of a throwaway one. But it all started behind wanting to know more about this monster, and we still haven't gotten anything, and it's been 10 years later. Oh well, maybe eventually. So I'm gonna give Cloverfield 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I think I see blue. He looks glorious.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my video, where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and the next one is a recommendation from one of my fans, one of my followers, one of my co-workers, Lucretia. You recommended V for Vendetta. Remember the 5th of November. I wonder if I should do that whole review under that mask next week. But V for Vendetta, I absolutely love this film. It's a great contemporary adaptation of a very famous graphic novel. Hugo Weaving, Natalie Portman, it's absolutely wonderful. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to recommend it right now that you absolutely should. But thank you very much, Lucretia, for the recommendation. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, please leave your comment below, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a shout out here on the channel. And don't forget, everyone, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and my reward for you, if we hit that, is I'm going to watch Arachnophobia, which is a monster movie in itself. It's the monster movie of all monster movies, because spiders, they're monsters. Come on, everyone, 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get there. I'm gonna watch a spider movie for you if I'm gonna get there. Come on. I don't know where that came from. I think I'm still sick. So everyone, have you seen Cloverfield? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below. Let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of V for Vendetta. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.